Latent deve soluyor amenizliyor.
Yummy sal. It's not smash the camera. Say my life, I'm gonna be Christmas. Just one again, like when you can keep it. I'm fine, that was something. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. You'll forgive me for starting a little late tonight. 8:30 on the 10th of October. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 273, Scuffed Epoch Live. I'm Drift Johnson. This is Latent Space Live. We're doing Bunraku Dev, little collaboration I had with Throttle. And we're going to finish off Writers Club, the big Writers Club recap, which is going to have a big write-up, and we're going to open source the entire giant storyline exactly as it came out. So look forward later to Uno, Semantic Echo, and more. So if you're into the writers stuff, that will come up later. But for now, check out my wave propagation visualizer. And this is just the simple oscilloscope version. This is not the collaboration I did with Throttle. We'll get to that soon. Hello, Throttle. Throttle's in the chat asking many questions about the craziness. When we get there, I'm glad to have you, my friend. And don't forget, we'll be doing a hangout in Discord where we'll be continuing the development craziness into the night. So, when the stream ends, jump in the Discord. Links are in the description. Okay, Fernicar is here. Battlecruiser operational. Liked and subscribed. Vibing to the tunes. We're going to have to build a new radio station soon, guys. I hope you realise that. That's coming up. Dragon, I see the stalkers are already in the channel. Haha! Oh, that's one. You're one of them too, though. And Throttle is saying howdy to people in the chat. So, like I say, the collaboration we did was a fusion. It's actually quite interesting. In image to image, we often take two images and blend them together. We did that with code because it's all latent shapes. So that's essentially what we're doing tonight. We're going to take a little look at this. Now, I've been doing a lot of stuff lately with wave propagation. And so I wanted to give people a visual insight into what's actually going on inside these crazy systems. So as you can see here, we've done our best to approximate what 0 Vector 6 Holo does. So if you remember, we had my chat agent. It's still available at ZV- wait, you can't see that. It's still available at zv5-holo.originai.com for a limited time. So if you want to check it out, it's there. All you need to do is bring the minimum of an Open Router API key. And if you want nice voice, an 11 Labs key. And if you want better search, so in other words, better responses, you can bring a Perplexity key. It's compatible with Sonnet 4.5. And as long as you don't mix models, it should be good with any model. But you do need vision in the vision slot. So anyway, all of that is by the by. We're not talking about that right now. But I wanted to give some insight into how these frequencies actually come into play, right? Or to give something, just something, anything, right? Because at the moment it's kind of abstract. And I think that being able to see the 2D oscilloscope is a nice way. It's a nice way of doing it without getting crazy, which is what we're going to try and do next. Because even though this is good, this doesn't really show you what's going on. Because there are actually 8 waves in my system, not 4 for a start. So there would actually be 8 waves doing different frequencies. And this doesn't really show how they intermingle, or there's no constructive, destructive superposition state here. So it is pretty cool though. I do like the way it's got lots of different things. Interestingly, this is the cognition. If we were doing the harmonics, which is how I was controlling that SDXL pipeline the other day, that would be this preset. I don't know if the exact sine wave are correct. I don't know if the exact frequencies, this is just going 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's probably not, but I probably have to check the code and find out what it was. But we essentially were doing this with the diffusion to try and manipulate the clip embeddings. That was what we were doing the other day. But the real cool thing, because we've been doing, like I said, a collab with Throttle. Throttle's input was, let's do more 3D stuff. And I just got this working. This is why we started late, because it wasn't quite ready to show. But now it is. Oh, interesting. It's not. It was aligned funny. Now it's not aligned funny. Isn't that weird? Anyway, we haven't got the oscilloscope, interference, playground, or multi-wave yet. But look at that. We've got 8 waves. Can I zoom in on this? Oh, I can, but not really. Okay. So let's just start again. Okay, so we have a globe here. I can't move it or anything. That's the best I can do. So we have a globe. Whoop. We have a globe. Okay. Now if I put 4 harmonic waves in. There we go. Now we see what it really does. So it's currently doing 0.622 coherence, which is a little bit lower. I think I was at 634. Angular frequency is 1. So I would like to be able to change these. Currently they're all set to 1. Alright. But if we just have a little look at this. This is what we're trying to do. And where it overlaps, you'll have a construction, a destruction, or a superposition event, depending on what the coherence is. It's quite an interesting idea. But anyway, I want to continue developing this out, but I'm going to do that in the background, because this is like a crazy 3D, because I could plug this into the system and it would actually be like real data represented this way, which is kind of interesting. I like it. Again, if I was to add in 2 beats and 2 overtones, it's going to look something like this. From here, it looks like that. And from there, it's like this. And like it's exactly as I was trying to describe it. It's kind of like an oscilloscope, but it's kind of like a spiralogram. And then you have a undulation. It's beautiful. Look at it go. And then that would represent how it was doing what it's doing. So it's like it's always on. It doesn't do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finish. It's like every piece of it is always trying to do the thing, and then when you put something into it, it kind of just spins around. I kind of love it. But anyway, we'll come back to this because it's my current thing. Just make it wave propagation, see what happens. It's a very interesting system. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Oscilloscope, phase 4. Interference patterns, phase 5. Playground, phase 6. And multi-wave in phase 7. So this is, like I said, this is the thing we started since the collab, which was last night. So how about we take a look at that collab project, because it is kind of cool. So yep, good timing. Welcome to Bunraku. So it's still in dev, but essentially you can put a GLB. Now we might have to like build it in, but it uses a GLB which has animations baked in by Throttle, the best he could do, I think. And what we've got is default avatar, Android female, and urbanite male. I'm going to use default avatar because it's this, right? And the way it works is pretty simple. There's a state engine, and she has a bunch of animations. Now, we don't have good animations yet, but we're going to fix that by giving her good animations. So she kind of has like a funny walk for idle. Watch. Oh, of course. If we just check the settings again. Where's the settings gone? There's the settings button. The settings button, we have Olama and Open Router. I haven't even tested Open Router, to be honest. I believe it does work, though. We did check it with an API key and choosing the right model and stuff. Okay. So it does, it does work, but I haven't used it. I've been using Olama, and I've been using Intern VL354 billion. I'm using, or sometimes we were using, no, it's not there. Must have been one of the Quens. But anyway, uses default SAPI to speak, so it's not like an elegant TTS. Done. So there should be a new settings menu with the camera control, so let's see what happens. Tell me a joke.
Scientists trust atoms because they make up everything.
And she goes to her idle animation, right? So essentially when she's doing her thing, let's go back here and do it again.
Golden light spills beneath ancient oaks, the wind whispers. Life stirs in nature's embrace.
So at the moment she's only got a couple of animations, and look at this walk animation, it's so crazy. It's totally AI. But golden light spills beneath ancient oaks, the wind whispers. Life stirs in nature's embrace. So anyway, it's not the best haiku, but hey, the point is that it's got a state engine, so she's doing different animations triggered by different thought cycles. So idle, thinking, potential emote types, and then what is it? Back to idle, right? So there's a state machine, as I say, driving the animation. And then the idea is you just load in different models, but there's like a mapping thing that we're trying to work out. So what I want to do is I want to make it so you can bring it in with like a metadata, and then you can map the animations you have to the ones that you need in the state engine. Something like that. But yeah, the basic idea is we're going to give camera control to the agent as well. So at the moment, it's just got the animation. We're going to give it camera control. It's already done as well. That's Giant. Let me get Giant out of the way. That's the oscilloscope. Where is Reasons? This one? This one. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Too many VS codes, guys. So, So let's say we ask for a big response, right? Explain quantum physics. So she's running. She's trying to find it.
Quantum physics,
oh, she
also
found
known
it.
as quantum mechanics, is a fundamental theory in
And maybe
physics that
she's talking
describes
too much. I can stop it. And then I can
Quantum
start
physics,
it again later.
also-
So those are the like basic features. There's a bunch of like base features. Oh, you can't see that because my arse is in the way. Yeah, basically,
Quantum physics, also known as
so you can start and stop the audio. Did it make us start talking? Hang on.
quantum physics, also known as quantum mechanics.
Yeah, it did. So obviously we're going to put like a better. You put better information, like better animations basically into the model. You put them into the GLB, and then in the app we made a mapping. So I want to make that easier to use. At the moment you have to change the code, right? But it's still in dev. We only just started this project because he had this really cool like camera system where you could load it in, change the app, change the camera. It's so cool, right? And I thought, oh, so we did tins on his project, or rather, no, he sent me his source code and I did tins on his project. Then I put that into deep research with one of my plans from chat, or I rewrote one from scratch, whatever. And that's created this. But what was really interesting about it was the way it was built, again, as always, because it was done with a full substage system, as we've been discussing, to prove that out, right? So we've got substages for every single phase, right the way down. I actually skipped phase 4 by accident because I was skipping from project to project like I do, and I managed to get to phase 3.5, and I was doing phase 4 with a different project. So I ended up jumping to phase 5. There was no phase 4 because I can't count, but it was fine. So the original plan actually ended at phase 3, see, and then I've added, this is additional stuff that we've added since then, but it should already have all of the camera stuff. It should be already finished, so the fact I can't see it is a bug, unless of course he didn't do it yet. So let's just double check where he's at. Maybe he hasn't actually done those phases yet. Yeah, so we've created the substages. Okay, so let's just back up. So what we did was we created a plan. Begin implementing phase 6. We created phase 6. So back up again. Here we go. Because we've got the solid foundation in, I can do it just like through pure intent, essentially. We can begin planning phase 6, new markdown artifact, which will contain step-by-step plan to implement scene controls inside a new modal, which will be accessed with a new eye icon button next to the settings modal in the top menu. So we want an eye to click on to get to the camera menu, right? Zoom and preset positioning of camera, associate presets with emotion detection, which we already have working, so the chat can dynamically set the camera position, angle and zoom for that emotion. That provides unique customization, blah blah blah. So off he goes, he does the thing. What should we use? I was happy with it, let him go. So here it is, camera presets, does a bunch of stuff. It's nice to just have parameters to, you know, once they exist you can adjust them if they suck, but having the system is what we need to get started. I'm not bothered if it can smile. That's dependent on if the face is rigged. It does actually have the code to make the jaw move and do lip sync, so it's kind of crazy, but it's a question of whether you have a model that actually has a movable face, I think. But anyway, we keep going, and ultimately when we get that done, he's like, I'm going to just create you a plan, because that's what we told him to do in the first place. See, read the plan. Plan seems simplistic. Remember this paragraph? It's the same one I always use. Produce a series of handoff documents in Markdown. Initial plan, step-by-step details, code examples, set up basic functionality at front end, less than 45,000 characters. We can then break up remaining stages into separate documents in less than 45,000 characters, aimed at informing a team with step-by-step instructions and code examples required. Create the separate phase artifacts. So that's what we always do. So he's going to create me phase 6. We've already finished this plan from the top here, all 3 phases. We've done a phase 5 in between. This is phase 6. Okay, so he's going to go away, make me a phase 6 plan, and I'm going to say we can begin implementing phase 6 by first creating substage markdown artifacts inside docs instruct, which is where I always put them, which will be used to track implementation of phase 6. If we have a look, there they are. And so it gives him all he has to do is add an eye icon to the menu bar, and look at the fidelity of detail in the plan. It's everything. It's stuff I couldn't even think of. Probably it's a bit too much. So there is an efficiency aspect here. You might not necessarily need to go crazy for simple tasks. But look at him, look at him. Look at this, he's even gone as far as doing us a little mock-up. It's a crazy good. Anyway, next comes scene controls, then the spring camera, then the emotion integration, because we completed that earlier and it checks that it has all of that stuff. So anyway, again, full code, full instructions, because it's a holographic expansion of the plan. It knows. But by giving it this, we can track the progress. So again, which will be used to track the implementation of phase 6. Off we go. He makes all of the sub-stage docks. Ready? Yep. And that brings us up to now. So, plan. We can begin phase 6. With phase 6 dash substage. I love it. We're like going into like the basement of the basement now. It's crazy. Phase 6 substage 6.6. As we continue completing the phase, this new stage of development. Love it. It's fine. Just give him something. Okay. So he's going to read my plan and then say, yeah, do you want me to act? Write me a poem about this. Is she able to see the chat? I never checked.
In
Yeah.
realms so tiny, where light bends through. Quantum whispers dance and spin anew.
Okay, yeah, it wrote an extremely long poem about quantum physics. But yeah, so the idea is once you get a custom avatar in here with the correct animations and then we give it the camera control, it'll be a really dynamic experience. And then my plan is I'll give you like scene buttons so you can say, oh, I want a green screen or I want a PNG and stuff like this, because it's really good at it can set the floor. And I reckon you could put like, you know, you could have like a box or something in there. I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. Remove orbit controls, replace with preset. I like the orbit control. I can always have it back later. Alright. We need to give it control of the camera though. You know. This is cool. You know. But I think we can do better. Has she got a microphone? Don't know. It looks like a microphone. Right. But yeah, like I said, star of the show is that oscilloscope. And like this is a big one because I've been wanting to show people how the memory system and how it works. And it's like hard to actually describe. Oh well, it's a bunch of waves and they kind of interact with each other. It's like, what? Doesn't really work. But you know, you give someone like a little website like this and you go, oh well, basically you've got, it's like waves and you can like do stuff with it. And people are like, oh yeah, I get it, science. We go with two cosine waves where one of them is high frequency and the other one is low amplitude, but increase the phase. Or wait, what about if we make it a square wave? Fun. Well, I suppose if you're into it. This is much more fun to play with though, I'll be real. What we need to do is change a few things and make it like, I think different colours would be nice. Because at the moment all I can do is, it looks like all I can do is put in sine waves. But the harmonic, beat and overtone is pretty much just coming in at a different frequency. So overtone is 3 Hertz, beat is 2.1 and harmonics is 1. So it's kind of, I mean, I know you can adjust it, but it's kind of like, it'd be nice if we could get some square waves in there, for example. I think that would look crazy. So yeah, there's a lot still to do with this. But as a real-time visualizer of what's going on, it's beautiful, because if you have any kind of wave-based stuff, you'll be able to plug the outputs into this and have a true real-time representation of what the system's actually doing, which I'm quite into that, because it's hard to achieve, you know. And this is pretty sweet. It's almost like some kind of event horizon, or like a black hole or something, you know. Right. So obviously Bunraku being the Japanese puppet type, style, genre. So let's see what people are saying in the comments. +1 kudos to the last voice channel session. Yeah, quick reminder, we're going to be on tonight as well. Can you stop pooping new ideas? It's hard to catch up. Well, they're not all my ideas. When we have community hangouts, people also have ideas, and I come along and go, hey, do you want to do a collab? And then we invert both of our plans, merge them in latent space, and conjure or summon a new substage plan to create some crazy new thing. So like, this isn't my app or his app, it's a merge of our apps, you know. Like I said earlier, we basically took the Tins image of his project and the Tins image of my project, you know, the one I just made, which was like, you talk to it all the time. We took those two things, simplified mine, simplified his, put them both together, and now you've got a chat which orchestrates 3D models. So now, why am I generating video? I could just make a 3D model and then puppet the TTS from what it's saying. So it's sort of like more lightweight. I know it's just a 3D model, but I think it'll work really well, because you could make him a little bit schizo, so give him a bunch of different animations and stuff. Oh my god, that is dystopian. Let's see, I'm going to catch up. So, especially if I can't sleep, says Fernicar. Throttle says worked amazingly well. Lovely. Junk from the generation. And then Full Dive says, hi, how are you doing today? I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're all doing well. Full Dive. So I was reading out the same thing twice. Dragon Diffusion says, shh, Fern, UK budget is due. Government will put a tax on ideas, and then I will be in trouble. Yeah, I don't give them ideas, Dragon. The ideas tax. That's so like I said, that's so dystopian. I love it. We should write a book about it. Fernicar says +1 Tins. Which version? Tins 2.0 multi-phase. I'm still working on the spec, guys. You've got to give me time, because I've now discovered the language. Let me see if I can find it. I was trying to get to it while I was working down here. There is a language to the prompt. It's the last prompt. Let me show you. There. Right. Creating substage markdown artifacts inside. Do you see how tight that phrase is? Creating substage markdown artifacts inside. So you have your phase. Tins makes multi-phase. So whenever you read a plan, it'll often say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and then the app's built. With Tins 2.0 multi-phase, it does all of the stages become phases. Okay, so phase 0 is the initial setup of the VNV and whatever background base architecture, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 are incremental sequential, so they build on each other. You know, they require the success of the last step to continue, right? And it's creating substage markdown artifacts inside. What that says is split this into even more. So inside phase 6 will be steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets split into now the substages that we work on piece by piece. And so what we're doing is we're cutting up his meal into something he can chew on and swallow in one go. He doesn't spit anything out. He doesn't, drop anything on the floor. It all goes in, and that's the idea. But it's done in like a fractal way. So this is the language that we use. It's distilled language. So instead of saying, do this, do that, follow the exact thing I want to do, we begin by implementing phase. By first creating substage markdown artifacts inside folder, which will be used to track the implementation of phase number, reinforced, matches up, all right? And then he'll immediately be like, oh yeah, cool, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6. He'll just do it. And then you can just work through each piece, and it's like super manageable. He can do incredibly complicated things. Because it's like tins. It's tins, and it's the narrative spittoon for coding. We know where we want to end, and we're not going backwards, but we are doing something similar. We're breaking it up into pages, aren't we? We're breaking it up into pages of pages, so that he can build his way there. Brilliant. What's that? Test development driven TDD had a baby with tins. I guess so. When you look at the Golden Shadow code agent, that was actually based on a narrative tool that we built. Because I think that stories and code are no different to the hologram, the hologram doesn't care if you're writing romance or JavaScript. It's all the same hologram to him. So there is some interoperability and application of tools that can be extremely abstract. But anyway, the idea of taking a narrative agent and using it for code, and it just actually does a great job. But that's not what we're doing here. I don't want to get off-piste. But yeah, essentially what I was talking about is that language, that distilled language, which is so important, because when you load every single phase, you can tell him that prompt. I'm gonna pin that in the Writers Club right now. Is it this one? No, it's the one before it. No, wait. Huh? Wait. Did I tell him to do the wrong thing first? I think I might have told him to do the wrong thing. I think I should have told him to do... Shit. I told him to do... I've just realised I made a mistake. That's alright though. It might not break it. I'm going to say, I accidentally told you... See, do you know what? This is interesting for two reasons. Number one, if I break it, I can show you how to get out of it. Number two, if I don't break it, this is what me and Throttle were talking about earlier. Are the plans linear? I assume they are because I said write them sequentially, but are they really? Because sometimes he's like, I want to go and do things in a different order. Yeah? And it still works. And so, is it really, what do you call it? Is it really linear? I suppose it depends, doesn't it? So, npm install. I've got to let him finish. He started, so he'll finish. Then we can compress this, and I'll be like, whoops, I meant to do 6.1 first. Somehow I must have, when I was linking it in the chat, I think I accidentally linked it the wrong way. I just realized I made a mistake. No, that's not good. No, it's not good. This whole project, start to finish, is near $60. But if I'm being honest, it's a full chat agent with 3D integration. Come on, what do you want? You thought that was going to be cheaper than the latest Battlefield game? Come on, man, you got to be realistic at this point. It's not a load of crap. This is actually a very good, solid piece of software right here, which is kind of crazy. Doesn't work yet though, because obviously we didn't make it yet. Whoopsie. We'll get there. See, I accidentally look, he's just figured it out. Oh, I'll add the thing. He's already started. Okay, do you know what? I'm just going to let him do it. So is he doing it backwards? Hey man, we were just talking about this. But yeah, I wondered if there's a way to do plans in a non-linear way. We were talking about this just before we came on stream tonight. I was wondering, you know, because we always do everything in a straight line. And I wonder, is it possible, because we often go backwards as our solution, and lately I've come across this wave propagation idea, which is essentially a way to organize parallelization, okay? Because obviously if you have a load of parallel processes, how do you make sure they all come in on time? How do you make sure they all come in on order, right? If they're running in parallel, you need to have some kind of, we use async usually, right? Async promise. But wave propagation is different because it's kind of like always spinning around. So it's not really the same. It's kind of like a different way of managing the whole problem. It's nature's solution to the problem. Yeah? How, you know, that it's nature's solution to the problem. That's all we're mimicking. Yeah, there's a lot of applications. I mean, at a base level, what it is, you know that ChatGPT, no, you know the Grok app with the chick? The app with the chick. If you had the animations on the chick, you could tie it to this and it would basically be the same thing but running local, you know? Because this is running on a local LLM with local model, local everything. So, yeah, it's basically local whatever that thing was that they had on Grok a couple months ago. I don't remember what it was. What was it called? It was like a chat 3D thing. Obviously you need to get your own GLB with all the right animations, but it would work because the state engine's hooked up to the chat. I'm sure there's like so much more you could do to it though. Obviously we want to hook up a good TTS. Now, I don't know. I think I did it on my I did that on my laptop. So maybe we can start again. Maybe we can start again and do that again here. So, what is it? XGF. Is that what it's called, is it? I don't know what it's called. Yeah, so many different apps. Yeah, there's so many different apps that could be used with it. Uh-oh. Not if it's broken, though. Ow. Yeah, you broke it. Okay. Right, okay. I accidentally, I hate having to do this, I accidentally gave you the plan, the substage plan out of sequence order. We should first fix the error, which is breaking the app since the last change. Then we need to circle back. Oh god. Circle back to phase 6. Here we go. This is why, it's because I can't spell. Phase 6 underscore 6.1. Substage 6.1. Substage 6.1. No results found. See, that's the issue. Sometimes this thing doesn't bloody work. Is it? Oh, I gotta put a dash? Alright, fine. No? I gotta put a dash there as well. Hey, okay, there. 6.1, there. As we are building on code we have not added. You know what I might actually do? Right, this is a great chart. This is a great example, actually. Yeah, let's do this. So when you screw up like this, you can just scroll back. Find the bit where I told him to do the wrong thing. Wait. Did he not listen to me? Before implementing 6.6, I need to do 6.1 to 6.5. Let's just read the logs. I think he might have already done it. Let me just double check. 6.1. Okay, so he's done. Wait, 6.1 is complete. 6.2. Okay. 6.2 complete. 6.3. All right. 6.3 is complete. 6.4. All right. So stop panicking. He's got my back. Even though I'm an idiot and told him to do 6.7 first, he circled back to 1 immediately and just did it in order. Well done. What a good boy. I even told him to do the wrong thing and he still did it right. See what I mean? It just impresses me more every time. I messed up and he got me. He got my back. So it doesn't matter that I did all that. Now for the final step, 6.7. Right, so he's actually done it all. Right, but he broke it. All right, let's just make sure he actually did break it. It's there, but something went wrong. We see a startup error in the browser. And then... Oh! Full console log. So we can create a step-by-step plan in a new markdown artifact named, what's it called? Substage 6.6, no, 6.8A. That's right. Even more crazy. Substage 6.8A, because there might be a B. It's like, how many layers of recursion do we need? I don't know. But you could just say fix this, but then I've got no record of what was actually done, do I? So I think this is a better idea. But as you can see, look, it tells you what the animations are on the avatar. So obviously this is just what we're testing with, but it's a pretty good spread. And it's all meshy. So, you know, you take any GLB to meshy, you apply some animations. My idea is to have like a mapping system so you can be like, oh, idle is this, and maybe have multiple animations for idle and stuff like that. That's the idea. But at the moment, you know, still building. It's kind of cool though. I think once you get the camera angles sorted, because it's possible to just, you know, have a live, real-time live reaction running. Which is kind of interesting. What's this? I'll create a troubleshooting document. Yes, you do that. So I wonder what time I started. Yeah, we're good. Trying to figure out the timing for what we're doing tonight. It's probably worth setting up Canny TTS on the side. Yeah, let's do that. So thank you everybody for contributing over on the Discord. Obviously we have a whole bunch of really active sections that are just like full. It's like a gold mine of information now. So much stuff gets shared in here. And we got one pop-up called Canny TTS. Really small. Now, I don't know how small is small, but let's take a look at it and see. Because I noticed that it had a bit of a confusing spec on it. But I do want to check this out. So obviously the easy thing we're going to do is we're going to go new window. We're going to go open folder. We've all done it hopefully 100 times by now. Canny TTS. And it's going to be a git clone thing. Enter. And immediately into that folder, please. There we go. Right, so now we're in the root. Let's have a look at the README. Now, if I recall, it's for Linux, or the instructions were for Linux. So I think we're going to need PowerShell. So what I'm going to do is I've already done this on a different machine. So let me just hello, Claude. Excuse me, Claude. Excuse me. Okay, we are installing the app. README. We might need to use PowerShell as we are on Windows. Proceed to create the VNV as instructed, activate and begin the install. Check the install completes and work to fix any issues. Before considering this task complete. What a curse! I'm cursing him. Just a little bit. I don't know how big Canny is. It's small, but it's got confusing spec, like I say. When I went to look at the spec, he said 16 gigabytes of VRAM, but then he said it only needs 2 to run. So I don't know if they mean inference is 2 and you need a big GPU to load it all in. I'm kind of confused. I'll be real. It was kind of like mixed information. Let's see if I can find that note. There. Oh, tested on. Okay, so I didn't read. So I read the big thing, and then I saw this, and I went, huh? And I didn't have time to read much more. Or I was scanning as usual, right? I was reading like Gemini. So, yeah, we're gonna do it. Is the model here, or is it on a hugging face? TTS model, codec model. Models are automatically downloaded on first run. Right, so I don't need to do anything. I just need to get it to install. Okay, so how are we doing over here? The eye icon should now work, apparently, so that's another thing to check. Okay, what do we got here? Amplitude slider. Oh shit, that's Wave SDXL. Spoilers. Oh my god! Something went wrong. Oh, I don't have control of the camera anymore. Right. Oh, what's this? It's so small. Oh crumbs. Right, so I actually have to... Okay, so that is 100. That is 100%. That is 100%. Yeah. See, vibe codes, guys. So maybe when we're in scene controls, we need to make this side by side, because I can't do scene controls because I can't see the thing. Isn't that funny? Like, we've lost the scene control because we're giving it over to this thing. Let's hope that the defaults work, right? So it's got happy, close-up, sad, medium, surprised, dramatic, confused, close-up. All right, it's something. Active preset is currently medium. Can I... Ah, wait. Ah, I can at least see they're different. Okay, so that one. That one. Oh, oh no. Okay. Edit. Oh god, it's so small. Right. So we have got stuff, you know what I mean? So position Z is 5. No. Y, up, down, 0 to 3. So I mean, we'll put it to 2. Save. Still too low. Yeah. We need to do more than just change these for that. But anyway, yeah. I need to make it so that when you go into the scene control, it puts the display on the right. So this is going to be a bit of a trick. Let's just ask him to do it. Wrong one. Do you know what? We don't need to see that one right now. Bunraku. Okay. So, since the last change, we have now introduced the camera controls menu. However, we need to make it vertical, two column, vertical, 2 column, split screen with the scene above the chat to allow proper viewing of the scene, which is currently cut off due to the layout we are using. We can make the improve this layout by making the controls and the scene side by side. We can write up the detailed plans as a new markdown artifact inside docs. Love it. I should just make this copy paste. Docs instruct named phase 6. Yeah, phase 6 substage 6.8b. Which we can use to track progress of the implementation. Cool. Tell me a joke.
So, here's a classic one for you. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
And she goes to idle. It really doesn't need to be that big though. No, that's actually kind of interesting. She's almost like my size on the screen. Yes, this is what we want. Look at him. Look at him go. He knows exactly what I want. He seems to be getting stuck though. Oh, no, it's good. He's going to make... All we want is the plan. And then we really need to compress because we're at 500,000 tokens. I'm lazy. Yep, overlaid. Yes. How big is Canny? Good question. Oh, sneezing. Excuse me. Right. Nemo Toolkit has dependencies. Some packages may need... Yeah, this is what I had trouble. We did have some trouble earlier with the actual build. It didn't really work. So let's just let him have fun with that. Because I've basically... I don't like to use the word spell. But when you imply a loop, he's got to just keep going until it works. I mean, you know, sometimes they don't listen to you, but... Yeah, sure. So off he goes. He's going to do the VNV. And then he should do the... activated. Yep, good. It's always fun to watch the agents working. I think you can actually learn a lot just from watching them working. Because like, oh, that's all I needed to do, huh? Yep, that's all you needed to do. Make a VNV, activate it, and do the pip install. So many people ask how to do these three things, and you can learn it just by watching the LLM do it a couple times. Which is, I think, interesting. And obviously, what the hell do you do next? I mean, that's a different question, but... And why? I think that's a good time for the coffee to come through, don't you? I think so. Coffee time, ladies and gents. We made it. Right. Fernie likes the one in the leather jacket. Is there like coffee version? Don't know. Right. We're coming back. Oh ho ho ho. So anyway, during coffee time we like to take a break, grab yourself some hydration, you know, that kind of thing. What you're looking at is Sea Dream. And Sea Dream 4 into Sea Dance with no Laura's, just prompt enhancement. Pretty cool. Like I said, it's always getting better all the time. We might do a few coffee time Soras in a bit, just before we start the writers section. But we're going to continue with what we're doing for a little bit. And like I say, thank you for joining me. And yeah, like the show, I guess. Right, let's get back into it. And I'm back. Right, what are we doing? We're trying to install Canny TTS today, recommended by the community in the Discord. We've got a bunch of other stuff on the side, which we're still running, but don't worry about that. I want to see if this works. Do you know what I should have done? I should have made a sub-stage plan for installing this, shouldn't I? Probably not such a bad idea, guys, you know, because sometimes the plans, they're not really, you know, like just install requirements. Doesn't really tell you the full story of what you've got to do. But let's see if it fails. It looks like he's installing transformers and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, the ones that look more realistic, yeah, that's the thing. We were putting all kinds of random stuff in there. It was even like crystal girls and stuff made of coral. So it was kind of all over the place. We started off, I think, doing like Halloween and stuff. To be honest, I need to go through all of the folders and properly look for it, because I think what was happening was some of the Sea Dream stuff was getting saved into a Sea Dance folder. And then all of it should have been under API nodes, but some of it was under 122 because I was using an enhancer, and it's sort of squirrely. It's all good though, it's all there. As usual, it's like Aladdin's cave. You don't really know where everything is. It's there. It's there, I'm sure. So hopefully the wheel doesn't fail, guys. Oh, it built transformers. That's always a good start. Good start. Touch wood. I mean, we're just doing the basic install. I mean, it should work, yeah. Transformers. Did I speak too soon? Don't doubt it, guys. Alright, we're in. Apparently we're in. So, can we now do TTS with this beautiful thing? Let me install Nemo Toolkit with Torch. Ooh, okay. Lot of room for it to screw up here. I don't see, it's just Torch. Torch 2.8 CP313. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what it thinks it's doing. I don't somehow. He's having to use workarounds, so something didn't work. But hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's probably like, you know, I'm suspicious that it's the right torch, that's all. You know? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know every single type of torch. It just seems like maybe the torch is too new and it's not CUDA. But, you know. We'll soon find out. Whoa, Nemo Toolkit with TTS extras. What's that? Whoa! You broke it, Claude. What are you doing? He's madman. Good times. With build requirements. A lot of familiar stuff coming through here. Numb to words. The famous missing package. We had to build ourselves once. I think we had to actually write our own once. Oh no, what happened? Uh-oh. He broke it. It's something to do with NumPy. It's something to do with NumPy. Ah, the problem is you've got an old NumPy, but you don't have that. 2 num, 2 volts. Says throttle. He's going to figure it out, guys. He's probably going to figure out that the Python's too new and he has to start again. But remember, I told him, I cursed him with, you can't stop until it works. That's why I said it was a curse. He should eventually break out and be like, I can't do it. Look, Python 3.12 is not recognized. What do I do? He says. He says, Python 3.12 is not installed on your system. You need to go and get it. Typical. Create a new thing. Do the thing. So I need to install the thing and do the thing. I thought, what, I don't have 3.12? Okay. All right. Listen. 3.12.10? Sure. It's probably too new, isn't it? But whatever. I use 3.10.9 in Comfy all day, so we'll go with this. Really? Wait. What are you saying, Willis? I have it. Yeah. I have Python 3.12.10 installed on this system. You madman? Just go for it, bud. He managed to break out with an excuse. You need to do something. But it's because I think of the way he's saying it. Where Python? Here we go. Go on, boy. Find a Python. Go on, get him. Ah, good boy. Yeah, Python 3.12. He obviously looked in 3.11 or something. I don't even know what he did. Look at this, 3.10. There's all kinds of Python. All kinds of Python. He's like, all right, fine. All right, fine, I'll do it again. He was the one that tried to use the latest Python. I didn't tell him to do that. You know, if he'd asked me, I would have said don't do it, but whatever. Maybe the requirements said he had to use the latest Python. Maybe it's not his fault. Let's just be honest. It's probably user error somewhere. I mean, I did notice something about this README, by the way, guys. And it's a classic. It's like the sort of thing you see on mine. Where is it? Look at this. Git clone repository URL. I wonder how it could have said that. So, yeah. Good man, whoever made the repo. Good man, I like it. He made his documentation with AI. Because obviously it didn't know what the URL was because it didn't exist yet. You can spot this kind of thing nowadays. Usually like the page title for an HTML website or white on white text suddenly appears in an update. All of these things. Throttle said, could be, I've asked Gemini to use React 18, but it just ignores me and uses 19.2. Yeah, and then you get compatibility problems because it's not actually long-term support yet. Yeah. Ecosystem problems. So we're going to try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. So while it's doing all of this nonsense, I should probably get Giant ready. How's Bunraku doing? The eye icon, scene shifts right to make room, both visible. Okay, so we should be able to test that as well. Right, so let's check that out, shall we? Open it up a little bit. See, I can't get to the tab because I've got so many tabs. It's my fault. Bunraku. Okay, cool. So there it is, and the sun. Right now, the camera sucks. Okay, all right. So. God, I still can't see anything. Oh, but it is updating, so I can see it at least. All right, cool. So right now it's on full body, which is X, Y. So is that going up? Let me just check what 0 does. Aha! Yeah. So we want that to be 1. Yes. So this is full body. Right, okay. So maybe we can do other stuff with this. Z is 5. What's 1? Okay. Alright. 2. Okay, and then I guess 0. There we go. Full body. But she's kind of... Oh, wait. Is that because... Yeah, it's because this is open. Right, cool. I'm just going to write these numbers down because they're not going to be hard-coded. So, yeah, full body would be 0, 0, 2, 55. 0, 0, 2, 55. And that is obviously X, Y, Z, F, O, V. Alright. And then medium shot. So we're obviously going to do something similar, I guess. Let's go with 0. Medium shot. Would medium shot be... Well, it's not a close-up, but it probably wouldn't have the legs, I guess. I don't know. What about 2? 2 and 1. No, it's too high. 0.5. It's better. And then 1.5. Okay. It's a good start. So I know they're all like head on at the moment, but you got to start somewhere. What is it? Medium. Which would be 0, 0.5, 1.5, 50. What about 35? Yeah, better. 35. You might go as far as 16 for wide angle on the close-up. So let's just 0.5, 16. Whoa, what happened? Oh yeah, I got to do it one at a time. Right, 16. Oh crap, yeah, one at a time. Right. 16, save. 0.75. Let's see if we can do that. And then 0. No, it'll be 0.75. Oh, it's so close. I think 1 is going to be too high. Ah, it didn't move. Oh, that's distance. Well, that's still pretty close, though. What about 1? Oh, crap. What about 1 there? Oh, shit. Oh, wait. Did I just put it in the wrong place? No, I didn't. 0.75. Is it the offset? No. .8. Weird. 9. She's going down, not up. All right. 5. It's because of the perspective. It's just confusing me. 6. Ooh, it's close. 6.5 maybe. Okay. Horrific. Look at that face. It's got like jaw splitting and stuff going on. How about we pull back just a little bit? Can we do 0.25? Still a good close-up. Okay. Close-up is going to be 0, 0.65, 1.25, 16. Which is a bit crazy, but, you know. And then the last one is dramatic, which I can't see her at all. So, set that to 0. Put her in the middle. There she is. Okay, so it's sort of, it's doing a thing. I don't have a rotation. Oh, it's kind of put her on one side there and... Right. 0.5. No. This is definitely... 2. Dramatic. Okay. It's something. It's something. Because we just imagined this up earlier. We didn't have anything in here for this. It was like, didn't actually have the code. 2.5 and 45. Okay, so we got it on ease in, out, 1000 and auto camera. Select. Okay. All right. So, tell me a joke. She's running.
Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Huh. That's funny.
I'm glad you liked it.
Oh yeah,
If
look
you
at
need
that.
anything else, feel free to ask.
Now we just need a
Smiley
better
face.
avatar and more animations. Smiley face, she said. It's not funny, really. Ha ha. No, I'm just going to be nasty.
Humor can be subjective. Maybe there's another joke that might tickle your funny bone.
That
How
face.
about this one? Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
She's trying.
Let me know if you'd like to hear more jokes or need assistance with anything else. Smiling face.
Yeah. Smiling face. So, it's working. Yeah, we could probably make it more complicated, give it a bit more like, you know, the position isn't really changing yet. But that is working. It's looking real nice. You know, it zoomed in on her and stuff. It detected the emotion, you know. So obviously just give it more stuff that it can do. Give it a better model with more animation. It does have the ability to do the jaw and lip sync to some degree, but I don't know how accurate it is. But it's all in the cut, as they say. So this was the end of, let's see, 6.8b, right? Phase 6.8b screen layout implementation. Good. So this all works. That's beautiful. So it's time to compress. Compress! We need to compact the plan. Because I'm not paying... Look, watch this. 589,000 tokens. Because I didn't do this for too long. Oh! Are you kidding me? That's got to be a glitch. There's no way. That's got to be a glitch. Give me a sec. It just said that like 5 seconds ago. Did something go wrong? Hang on, ladies and gents. Yeah, because it just didn't change my balance. Hang on a sec. I think something went wrong earlier. There. Right. Compact, please. In fact, you know what? Do we even need to compact? We've finished all the stuff we need to do. We can start a new plan. It's fine. Don't even bother with the compacting. Okay. So $76. But again, a bargain for what it actually is. Insane. Okay. So the next step, we're going to muck about with Meshy, improve the animations, and then hook that in. So that's the next step for this one. Refresh. Now, did it keep my settings? I think it did, you know. No. No, wait. Yeah, it did keep them. Okay. Write me a haiku.
Morning sunlit fields. Birds sing in the breeze so sweet. Nature's gentle song.
Lol. It just needs a better avatar now. The Banana Republic. Hey man, I have to prove out the process. This has proved the process out now. It's you know, we've improved on what is the current best planning technique to the point where, you know, you can build highly advanced software without writing a single line of TypeScript. You just come with your idea and let it, you know. I'll admit, with this project here, it's a collaboration. So Throttle obviously wrote his side of things, which was the meshy 3D scene solution. And then I've just basically distilled that into this app. But it works. Now all it needs is an actual avatar with the proper, you know what I mean, all of the head and the jaw and stuff like this. And then it would be able to hook into the app, because the app has the foundation to support more advanced models. So we'll have a little look and see if we can't get one and take this Bunraku project further. But we're now going to do coffee time. Wait, did I do coffee time already? I already did it. Still warm. I saw the time was 10 o'clock, so I was like, it must be coffee time. But no, we started late tonight, so it's all a bit weird. So I think what we should do, though, because we have done plenty, looking at Bunraku, looking at the new wave stuff, which we're still working on. And what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the story, so we can finish off Giant and publish it. Because we have done the live, it's like going to be... This will cap off what was 6 hours up till now, you know, for full writing tutorial free, you know, with how to use all of my tools. So, I know it's long, but we literally did end to end from scratch to trilogy. Scratch to trilogy, end to end. So we're going to move on from this stuff and we're going to jump into the writing mode. So what's this? Don't even remember what this is. Bunraku. Get rid of that. We'll keep doing this on the side. I'm not going to forget about this, don't worry. And then we're going to need one of my many. Here it is. Right. So I'm not going to do every single chapter. I'm going to show you how we do, I'll show you how you would do the process and then you apply that to every book, basically. But essentially, at the point that we're at, if you've been following along, you should have your narrative bucket, which has now been updated following the end of book 3. So this narrative bucket is ready to write the next book 4. It's ready for book 4. Even though we haven't got any plans for book 4, it's ready. Yeah. And then we have book 3, book 2, book 1. And these are obviously, as I call them, the bones. But we're going to need the narrative bucket that wrote each book to power our unified narrative operator. So we're going to look at book 1, all right? So book 1, there's book 1. Now, we'll open that as a tab. And you can see in the zips, we have book 1 post, book 2 post, book 3 post. Yeah. So pre is before we wrote that book. Post is after we wrote that book. So is there no book 1 pre? It's probably on the GitHub, isn't it? I just realized there's no book 1 pre. Because I think actually, if you do it with post, it's been changed to start writing book 2. Let's have a look. Story 1. Narrative. I don't know, actually. There's no summary here, so I think I might be okay. Let's have a look. So 3. It's kind of funny. So where is this? Yeah, I'm led to believe this is the original. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So post is after finishing book 1. Pre is ready to write the next book. Yeah. That makes sense. So what I need to do is I need to extract each one of these post ones. What the heck? God, I hate Windows. I'm using 7Z because it's like Windows. Same thing, but you know, actually works this time. So we're going to take book 1 and we're going to go in. This is all of the files I'm going to need. I would say that it's easier to demonstrate this in a chat or with, like I said, I use a chat that has project support like Claude. Because obviously that's a lot of files. You can't just load them all in a chat, right? But usually when you have like a agentic assistant, I mean, I could put them in here and do it in here, but I don't. I tend to not do it in here because we're doubling. I tend to use my Claude. So we're basically paying for length. I don't like paying per token to upscale. It doesn't make sense. But Claude has a projects feature which I'll use for convenience to show you. So we're going to put the Uno system prompt in here. I'm going to say this is Uno, giant one. Okay. So obviously for the instructions, I'm going to need the Uno system prompt, which is in prompts. It's not funny, it still says it's called reverse in there, but it's not reverse anymore. Weird. Well, I haven't had a problem using it up to now, so do you know I do have a problem with that? Which tab was I on? Okay, I think it's that one. No, it's not that one. It's that one. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so I chucked my Uno system prompt in. And then I'm going to need all the information. Hopefully it doesn't make me do it one file at a time. Sometimes it's like, whoa, that's a lot of files. And then you have to like do it in bits, but it looks like we're all there. See, it's barely even touching it. But that is all of the information that's from my rag store that was used to write book 1. Before it was written, crucially, not after it was written, yeah? Alright. And then I'm going to say we can use Uno to enhance the draft page. And then I will page 0. And give it page 0. Because the thing is, the system prompt contains so many instructions, there's not much point. Yeah, we're going to be going back into token hibernation soon, guys. It's like every 6 months I got to update my portfolio. So it's almost done now. Next step is new website. That'll probably be the last big project, you know, for a while anyway. Who am I kidding? There's going to be loads, but you know what I mean. There will always be more projects. It's not really in reverse anymore. Whatever. Oh, he's just going to copy it out? Okay. He's just going to write it out. No artifact. A video review of every repo. God damn, that would take me a year. I'd have to stop doing the live show. But then I did kind of bury myself in deep to get all the work done, you know. If I'd been making a video feature every day, I would have just been making a video feature every day. There wouldn't have been time for nothing else. That's the trouble with YouTube. If you play the game, it's full time. And I got work to do. If I didn't have any, well, listen, it's work. It is work. So I'm not making that distinction. Because I did all of that before. Good times. Wow. Spoilers. Alright. So, he's writing the thing. But we can also do other stuff. So I can say we can use Giant Holographic Tutor to provide a review of the story contained within book 1. Let's go for beans. When it's done, we'll review book 2. Yeah, it's all planned, guys. See, the thing is, I didn't have much to talk about. At one point, there wasn't much to talk about because, to be honest, we just made images. That's all we made was images. We trained image models, we messed around with animation, but that's all we did. I'd been doing LLM research for years, so I started like doing more of that on the channel. And even though it was never really that popular, you can see the way it went. All the image models now have LLMs built in. So and so all I've done is tried to make it available to open source, just try to help. That's what we all try to do. Hmm. 78 out of 10 at college graduate level. That's not bad. It's college graduate creative writing. So basically degree level, but 78 out of 100. Alright, let's do book 2. And then book 3. Obviously I get full notes, right? It's not just, you know, it's full on. Okay. And so, like I say, this gives you feedback for your draft notes if you're doing this 100% human. But there are ways to continue using more agents beyond. Because right now we're reviewing the bones, is what I call it. The meat goes on with the Uno. So in a minute, what I'll do is I'll do a review on one of the Uno upscaled pages, and we'll do a, you know, here's page 1, here's page 2. Well, here's the same 2, you know. You'll see. Okay, so we should have a page now. Yes, we do. Cool. So let's just go over here, and then we're going to say book 1. Book 1, Uno. And inside of it, page 0-uno.text. What the? Okay, I didn't need to put that then for some reason. What the? Something weird happened there. Let's try that again. Book 1-Uno. I bet it's going to say that. That exists. So useless sometimes, it really is. Can't delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Book 1, Uno. That's a folder. And inside of it we have a page 0, Uno.text. Yes. And then we paste the page. Right, cool. So we're at where I was supposed to be at before it started being Windows. This gives me two things, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a new chat, because we need to do the book 3 review. So what's it say? 82 out of 100 for book 2, but it's giving us already points for improvement, right? What's this? Characters process impossibility too similarly. It's a bit harsh. Okay, blah 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 blah. Create graduate level creative writing that successfully delivers on the trilogy's ambitious premise while maintaining literary quality throughout. Isn't that fun? So off we go. We have a bunch of stuff. We're told about an operation rather than experiencing it. Nasty. Someone gets injured. Right. That's it. The too perfect motif pays off. Right, cool. Journey matters. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so what do we get? What's our final score? Oh no. Impossible. The word impossible appears excessively. Hey, what do you mean? We haven't done semantic echo yet. That's important to note. Oh my God. Jesus. Uh-oh, he ran out of breath. Specific weaknesses. Oh my God, look at him go. Conclusion. Impossible vocabulary overused. 88 out of 100. So the draft could get this up to a very good score. You know, if you're getting 88 and it's just a draft with a load of weaknesses. 78, 82, 88. So the story seems pretty solid. It just needs a human draft to fix it, right? And to be honest, how much of the book makes it into a TV or movie adaptation anyway? It always gets changed considerably from draft or published to, you know, between mediums. So it's kind of like the difference between what's here and, you know, is less than what it would be if it was picked up and produced. So, you know, things will be changed, right? It's kind of interesting. The core is there. Obviously, I think it's worth just doing the past, but okay, so the next thing I want to show you is obviously what we were just doing. So we're going to compare chapter 1, book 1, chapter 1 with its Uno counterpart. All right, we will be comparing at book 1 / page 1, page 0. Yeah. With that page 0.txt. See, there's so many page 0.texts. Why won't you tell me which folder it's in, you nonsense machine? I think it's that one, but I don't know why it does that. We won't use Uno for this. We'll just use Claude. Okay. We can. We have processed the chapter with the Uno agents externally. We can rate and score what has been changed from the original to the enhanced Uno version in a detailed report. Okay, this isn't part of writing the book. I just want to explain what the Uno does. Fernicar says, nowadays your book might get into a TV show and you wouldn't know it because it's been mixed with other books that got in the blender to train the AI script. Yeah. It's true. It's true. And that's why you have to write something so crazy it's on the level of Sean Connery's Zardoz, which is so crazily insane, nobody can copy it. All they can hope to do is take a single aspect or shard from it and just ape that, because it's just too crazy. So many bits, so many high concept elements were stolen from Zardoz, guys. And the joke is that it had so many things in it, it was hard to follow what was going on. There was like, you realize more every time you see it, because it's just so bonkers. Like Sean Connery with a ponytail and a beard in a mankini with a revolver. What? It's pretty cool. Ah, look at you go. My God, man. This is a big old review. So, executive summary, section by section, environmental detail, 9.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So this is all the stuff that's been added. and it's high scoring. Wow, he rates his own work so well. Peter Chen. Yep. Internal hollowness. Original, completely aware he'd built comfortable academic lives studying discomfort he'd never personally experienced. Expands this into multi-paragraph exploration of vicarious expertise and untested theories. Transforms academic detachment into existential void. Love it. Love it. Wow, insufficient engineering is the problem. I love it. Bloody hell. This guy's nihilistic as hell. Original, he was too good at this. Enhanced, expands into extended meditation on mastery becoming meaningless and expertise becoming a trap. Wow. Boring. The challenger died 30 years ago, probably around age 30 when he solved his first impossible grid stabilization problem in 45 minutes. He's smart. Golden shadow concept. It shouldn't be a literal golden shadow. This should be a process. So Thomas. Oh, look at that. It's actually fleshed out their character a little bit. There's the golden shadow here. Explicitly developed through extended internal monologues. That's golden shadow. So before it was just implication. Those implications became internal monologues. Interesting. It's getting extremely high scores. The only thing is it's not aware of repetition and all that nonsense, right? So that's why you have to hit this page now, and you have to do this with every page in order all the way through all the books. I find it just helps to trim down the draft before you do your last, your human edit. So it's less work ultimately, because it will catch out all the obvious stuff, and then it literally becomes a pacing edit, which is what I like. I like doing pacing edit. So there we go. So would you like to create the thing? Nah. So what I do, generally I do this with chats, and I'll have like a 2 tabs or multiple tabs, with different projects. So let's see, do I have a semantic echo general? I do. Semantic echo doesn't keep the rag, because I don't want to dilute him with obsession over words. So I'm literally just going to drop the page, the Uno page, right? If I can find it. There we go. So I'm going to drop the Uno page, and I'm going to say, use semantic echo. Oh, hang on a sec. Let's make sure I use the right prompt here. Use semantic echo to examine my draft page. There it is. That's the exact wording I needed. To examine the draft page 0. And this one was one of Fernicar's contributions, so thank you very much. Like I said, I appreciate everybody pitching in with their their own input on more tools, the merrier. I try to do more collaborations with people, which is fun. So how we have it, semantic echo analysis report. All right. Familiar. Ancient age announcement pattern. Interesting. Four-part structural overpowers of what? Each character section follows near identical structure. Physical, professional, work, reflection, what's missing, routine. Oh dear. Break the pattern for one character. Peter goes backwards. This is cool ideas, cool ideas. So this will give us a little bit of a mix-up, which I really love. And what I like to do is pass a report. I pass this report onto what I call narrative inpainting. So let me show you that, because that'll be the third tab, the third and final tab. See, I used to say use the report to edit, you know what I mean? To redraft. Like, what was it? Yeah, look, see, I'm not even doing anything. Once I get the report, I'm immediately off somewhere else with that report. Yeah. So where did I go next? I went to the narrative inpainting tool, which is in here somewhere. There it is. Narrative inpainting. And again, the narrative inpainting doesn't need to be rag aware because he's only implementing the report. So if I take a look at what I did earlier for Orden Rosa, there's a few extra details because we're putting in Act 2 and then we're putting in the inpainting. But there are rules because we're not allowed to change any of the words because this is Shakespeare. But anyway, let me just copy this and make a new one. Put that in there. Put in the Uno original and then get the report. Right? Might alter the... Oh, crap. I need to actually write the... Hang on a second, guys. I got to make it a reel. I got to make it real. Yes, here we go. Book 1 Uno. So here I will say echo reports. So that'll be page 0 Uno echo report MD. What a mouthful. Put that there. And now I've got the file in place for what I was trying to do, which is just drop it in. And then I just need to update the names of things here. So use the quoted text and suggestions in page 0-uno-echo report.md. And then it's going to be page 0-uno.text. As we write a new document named page 0-uno. Do it in Markdown, I don't care. Fixed. I should have said post echo or something, but you might want to do multiple rounds because it doesn't always get everything in the first run, in the first pass. But again, we're now relying on tools to do things for us, which we could probably do easily by eye. So it's a question of how big is the job. You probably want to use more automation to reduce the amount of by eye work. That's all. So yeah, we're going to use the quoted text and suggestions in the echo report and use narrative inpainting with page 0-uno. Complete the required changes as we write new documents, so we're not going to edit this. Yeah, full narrative content updated following completed changes, and we're going to 4.5 it up, which is the best model so far. Okay, while he's thinking about that, quick. What's going on with my canny thing? Doesn't look like it's having fun, guys. Failed to build wheels. It's not looking good. We'll let him cook, but there will be a limit. If you can't install it within $5, it's not happening. Because I'm not going to bother. TTS is a 10 to the penny. And it would be nice to use a cool, lightweight TTS. It would be. But we got to find a solid one that can actually run on a lot of machines. And it's like, if it's a pig to install, wow. You know, I could spend the evening trying to rewrite the install process. But why am I developing, you know what I mean? It should just install, guys. There's no need to... Oh. Did it work? Did it work as soon as I complained about it? Nope. No sentence piece. Lol. Why? Lol. Okay. He's asking me. I've identified create the new thing. Create, because he will look. Because right. Let me just put something forward. Okay. Narrative in painting has the ability to do the inline edit, so it works in the document to save you tokens. I just asked him for a separate, but I'm not going to do what I asked for. I'm going to do what it's supposed to do and see if it's working. It should be able to do that. Just edit the original. It's fine. I've got a copy of it. But I just wanted to show that if you don't want to edit like a non-destructive process, it's going to just create the new document with the changes, which is cleaner but costs more because you have to rewrite the entire document. Yeah, you just do it, my friend. I believe in you. At this point, I just say both. Give me both. Is this thing... Oh, no module text errors. See, there's so much stuff missing. I mean, he'll get there eventually, but it's like we're rebuilding his project with missing requirements. I'm guessing that it's like Linux or something. He's built it for Linux or something like this. I don't know. Okay, there we go. We're writing out the new page. Now, of course, you're free to resubmit the new page back to Semantic again and do another scan for more echoes, right? But it's kind of like polishing a stone. You can polish the stone until it has a mirror finish, right? So how smooth do you need it to be, right? Maybe a few rough edges wouldn't be so bad. So this is why I'm like, don't over polish it. Because if you over polish it, you might lose some character. It's just like when we're doing images. You know, detail is good, but sometimes too much texture is bad. And then if you smooth it, sometimes too... So there's like Goldilocks zones for everything. So when you're doing these automated processes, you might lose some granularity in the control that you have, right? Because obviously you're automating loads of stuff. But if you have the parameters nice, it'll perform within expectation. So then you can carry the weight. But this is going to reduce that weight before you get to the human draft. And the human draft, you can add anything you want. Because it becomes like a canvas which already has the story in rich detail. And I find most of it is removing excessive details in scenes that need to be faster paced. It's like I said, it's a pacing edit. You do a pacing edit and you end up cutting loads of stuff just because it's like we need to move things on. This is all good stuff, but we just need to move things on. So like I said, you feel more like a producer. but you have authored the story. So it's kind of interesting how it works. Are we still struggling to install? Oh, Jiwa. No Jiwa. It's like we're having to just one by one. No, can't find that. All right, install that. Oh, no, can't find that. All right, install that. So funny. Hopefully, eventually, we will have installed everything that it needs and it'll run. Oh, data sets. Oh, data sets. Missing data. You got to install that. Oh, they're going to space. They're going to space. But I hate space. Or do I? So he's created, what's it, Uno page fixed. Cool. So I will download it as a markdown and chuck it in the folder. So essentially you can see the process. We had our page, we put it through Uno, which made it much, much longer. We then did an echo report on the Uno expansion, and that's fixed a lot of the echoes. All right. And now we have chapter 1, page 1, book 1, chapter 1. And we can read through this. And you know what we should do now? Let's go back to that chat with the holographic tutor. That's Uno. Alright, so I need to make a new chat. What the? What the? Okay. New feature, guys. You can understand other extensions now. Cool. So yeah, what I want to do is I want to compare. In fact, you know what? We can do it in here, couldn't we? I think, no, not in here. In Giant. Yeah. Echo report. Final composite score. Here we go. I said compare the two. Uno enhancement successfully demonstrates doubling word count can strengthen rather than dilute narrative impact when done with surgical precision. If every addition serves character development, world building, thematic reinforcement. Enhanced version transforms 4 competent character sketches, the bones, into fully realized portraits of existential despair, making the reader viscerally understand why these 4 scientists are primed for the impossible offer coming their way. This enhancement process should be applied to remaining pages with particular attention to this. It's not just an expansion, it's narrative surgery, which reveals depths hidden in the original's bones. I love how he's using that. I didn't tell him to use that terminology. He's just doing it. So now what I want to do is I want to say we have used the semantic echo agent to generate a report, and this was then used with the narrative in painting. And by the way, narrative in painting agent is kind of cool because you can use an uncensored LLM and you can target an action scene and you can make it spicier. There's lots of things you can do. And so it's essentially going to in paint a paragraph or paragraphs to introduce the new, what you said. Now actually what happened was, and it'll rewrite it without breaking everything. Okay, so but for that type of narrative in painting, you do need to make a custom, you know, like the one I just used. I said it doesn't have any rag because it's just doing the list from Semantic Echo. It's possible to make another project which has the same system prompts, but you put the rag for the whole giant narrative. You put all those rags in there, like you did with Uno, and now it's able to narrative in paint with that latent shape of your story. But you've got to remember to use the correct narrative bucket for the book you're working on. So remember how we evolved the bucket post-event? So once that we finish book 1, we summarize it, evolve the narrative information, so the rag's updated now. If you're going to be doing Uno and in-painting on book 2, it's got to be the book 2. And if you're doing narrative in-painting on, or Uno on book 3, it's got to be the book 3 rag, right? Otherwise it won't make sense. So it all works if you just did it all in order. If you just do it all in order, it doesn't even matter. It's a very natural process. It's a bit more like sculpting, but you get to design what's inside the block. and the stone is really soft. So just gotta be careful not to delete too much when you do your pacing edit, that's all. We have used Semantic Echo Agent to generate a report. This was used with Narrative In-Painting Agent to make corrections. We can write a new report as a new markdown artifact named page 0 Uno Echo review.md, which will compare the Uno output with the results from the in-painting task. Okay. There should only be one Uno, and then what's the name of the other file? Fixed Uno. And then fixed echo output. No. Fixed in painting output. And you might be like, well, you know, it like jumps right in there. Okay. It gets in there like you couldn't, if that makes sense. Because it can, like with deep research, where it can search for 100 lines that have issues, and those issues might be simple typos or, you know, simple stuff. It's a bit like a spell check, really, let's be honest. It's like a spell check, but it's got a little bit more to it. Tell your experience between Repetition Sniper versus... Okay, so Repetition Sniper is part of Semantic Echo. And I think that... No, it's not. It's part of my Holographic Tutor. And to be honest, Holographic Tutor V2... yeah, Repetition Sniper versus... Okay, yeah. So Repetition Sniper used to be my way of doing it. So I would identify lines which I needed to change, which were repetitive. And then I would snipe them, you know, with the list. The problem with that is, you know, by rewriting those areas, kind of more like a scrambling is what was happening. But I think that even though that's good because it catches obvious stuff, you know, it doesn't catch some of the more fine, some of the repetition is harder to spot, right? And of course, you know, if you have a tool which is repeating itself and you want to make the tool get rid of the repeats, it's going to repeat itself again, isn't it? So, you know, like it's almost like if you have a lawnmower that makes a certain pattern as you mow the lawn, and then you want to use that lawnmower to remove the pattern. You see what I mean? The reason that it makes the pattern is because that's how it cuts the grass. So the reason we have repetition is because that's how it writes the text, right? But by using these separate tools, you come at it from a different angle with a smaller sample, and so it does become different. So the thing with Repetition Sniper is it had to have that tasking in it to stop it from doing it, but it's nowhere near as effective in post editing as a Semantic Echo report, which is then fed into the narrative inpainting, because narrative inpainting is made to take a bunch of lines and then go in and change them according to what you want. Whereas semantic echo is built to detect those lines. So you put the two together and they just work like a perfect pairing. Whereas the problem with the repetition sniper is it only actually gives you, I think, three lines by default. So repetition sniper was a primitive tool that was working on a very small sample size, whereas semantic echo can do an entire page in one go and put out a format which is able to be fed into the next agent. So it's a handoff document. Yeah, the handoff document from semantic echo straight into narrative inpainting, it works. So we're gonna review that now, so that, you know, I like to do all my research open so you can see if this is a win or a failure. Now, obviously, I would encourage people, once these prompts get released, to repeat them with Gemini and Grok and various other systems, because they will either work better or worse, depending on the weaknesses and strengths of the model you use. I try to be agnostic with all my design, because then when the new model comes out, you can just slam my stuff straight in, and it may or may not work. Like I say, it's a your mileage may vary type deal. But you might find emergent capability which I've not even seen. So bear that in mind. Because we're not making it so for a specific model, there's a possibility it could be interpreted in a new way, a novel interpretation of the thing. We actually had that yesterday, where it was doing the substages in such a way that he was giving me like a checklist of things to make sure work before moving on. Like, it was like the granularity of the plan implementation was insane. It was like, click this button, then click this button, then click that button. If everything worked, we can move on. I'm like, what? He was making me like mini website test pages to make sure everything works. And then at the end, he deleted that and turned it into a settings menu. I've never seen him do that before. You know, he didn't even have the app. He didn't even build the chat yet. He was just making sure that all of the different things actually work before bringing in the LLM integration, for example, you know. So I knew everything worked before it's kind of awesome. But anyway, I don't know, did I put a screenshot about that in Discord, or did I forget? Because it was kind of nuts. I was like, I've never seen it do that before. And I appreciate it's just React, but you have to ask for it, and I didn't ask for it. He did it on his own. Why can't you find a Discord? Oh, it's because it's on. It's right here on my screen. Let's see. Maybe it's in the chat here. No, that was a different day. What about the Writers Club then? The Writers Club? No. Channel? No, just a video I did. Cool video, but no. So, yeah, I forgot to upload it. Basically, I had a screenshot of the bit where it was, you know, asking me to do the things, and it was very cool. Okay, so let's look at the report, the echo analysis report. Looking at the Uno and then the fix. Oh, he's still talking. Okay, sorry, mate. I thought he'd finished. He still wants to tell me more. Oh my God. He did. The report was truncated. Okay. See, when the report of what he did is 1,000 lines, he did a good job, guys. He did a good job. Let's see what people are talking about in the chat. It was epic. Sort of mini agent subtasking thingy. Yeah, that is TINS 2.0. Calling it multi-phase, but it includes fractal subtasking. So yeah, that's... suggest the workflow that places all in a document demonstrates efficient use of LLMs like TINS, handoff, checkbox list, client plans. Yeah, all I can do is leave what notes I can in repos that people look at. There will be websites. We've got plans. So I am leaving some of it for later, but we are keeping documentation of everything as we go along. Okay, so the overview of this, look at this report. It's a 1,000-line report. Key insight. Repetition reduction is not about eliminating all echoes. It's about distinguishing between intentional poetic echoes, which are kept, and distracting verbal tics, which are eliminated. The successful application requires surgical precision, context awareness, and respect for original narrative architecture. Recommendation: apply this two-stage process. Uno, enhancement, echo, reduction. And that is wrapped, that's what we're talking about, echo reduction. To all remaining pages, with particular attention to the technique guidelines and quality control checklist provided above. Bloody hell, is he giving me even more? Has he made it better? Let's have a look. Minor issues. Chen usage. Consider reverting to Peter for consistency. Ooh, we've got an error. Wait, his name is Peter Chen. So what's the problem with calling him Chen? His city. Minor possessive weight loss. Geographic vagueness. Alright. Thesaurus failure obvious. I love that. That's great. Okay, so this is just giving me a big old thing. Let's read the actual report. So it says here, 7 categories of repetitive language identified and corrected, 30 to 80% reduction in echoes, narrative quality preserved at 9.2, vocabulary diversity improved by whatever that means, 1.3 points, repetition breakdown, top corrections, ordinary world, the world they knew, theoretical, hypothetical, Milwaukee general, theoretical realm of pure mathematics, and familiar elimination in Peter's section. 15 detailed before or after correction examples. Very good. Familiar, the comfort trap. 8 instances, reduced to 2. The word familiar appeared excessively in Peter Chen's section, creating a repetitive hammering effect that, while thematically appropriate, became prosodically monotonous. Love it. Created sing-song rhythm that distracted from content. Familiar. Ordinary. So it's been changed. Much better than... See, Repetition Sniper is more of a tool that allows you to find repetition in your draft quickly by giving you 3 lines that you can do search on to get there quickly, right? It's not about trying to fix it or offer any kind of suggestion, whereas Semantic Echo does more than repetition sniping, and it also is context aware. And like I said, the format it produces can be fed directly into the in-painting, and then we get this result. Effectiveness 9 out of 10. I mean, 9.5 out of 10. I mean, look, what's it scoring it against? Okay, all we know is that it's a good signal. It's working. Yeah. And then, like I said, once you've done this, it's up to you, right? It's up to you. I would always just read it, right? Just read it. And once you've... Where's the fix? There it is. So that's the fix. Obviously, I would actually read it. And if I'm happy... go and do the next chapter, and you'll be surprised. You can sit there with a drink and a snack, maybe listen to some music, and boom, you just slowly work through the chapters. There's only 6 chapters per book, so it's less than less than 20 times going through this, and you've got a trilogy done. It's done. And like I said, I do a couple of final reads, maybe sleep on it, read it again, and then be like, right, am I happy with it or not? Okay? But the point is, it's done. It's done. And it's all been scaffolded. You saw the interview where we wrote this out. It literally came from one of our harebrained ideas on live. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do, because it does take hours. It's work. It's actual work. It's authoring, it's editing, it's writing, it's all of that. But the point is that what should have taken you about 3 years of your life can be done in a day. Because we did this start to finish, took actually 7 hours, not 8. 7 hours from start to finish. And that's me explaining it the whole way as well. And like breaking it down and demonstrating everything and keeping lots of logs and doing reports to prove it and all this. Once you trust the system, all you do is you, last page, write the book. Uno, echo, in painting. That's done. Next chapter. It's actually a 4-step process. And once you've actually got a narrative bucket, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. Because this can be used to write anything inside your universe. It's like the ultimate lore Bible, you know. You can write video game backgrounds with it, serial pack promotions. You can even take it and design like products and tie-in stuff. You know, the holographic tutor has where is it? He has a critic who can help you with that kind of thing. Merch, advertising, all that kind of stuff. Branding, you know, so it's kind of like it's tried to put there's a lot of stuff wrapped into this, but essentially, like I say, you write the book backwards, you do Uno forwards, and then you take each Uno chapter, put it into the semantic echo, run that, and then use the report to in-paint out, because it does it in one action, and you can just go bing bang bong, 3 tabs, chapter, 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 chapter. I end up with a conveyor belt running where, you know, one tab is running, you know, so you'd have page 1 being corrected, you'd have page 2 being reviewed, and then page 3 would be getting Uno'd, and then you'd have page 4 ready to go. It's kind of like that. It's up to you how you do it. Sometimes I like to do all the Uno first, so I do all the Uno first, and then I'll do all the semantic echo second, and then all... It doesn't matter which way you do it. And you might decide you're going to do semantic echo twice, you know, because you want to double polish it. But there is a danger in over polishing, because it is exactly like that. You start off with a rough surface and you polish it a bit. Now it's smooth. If you polish it too much, it just turns into a mirror finish and no one can tell what the hell it was. So you just got to be careful with that buffing machine, all right? Okay. I think we're there, guys. I think we're there. I think that actually does finish it off. Obviously, I do coaching for this kind of thing, so if anyone's lost, you can always hit me up for the one-to-one. I'm always available for creative coaching with AI tools. And we created these tools for writers, not, you know, we created these tools for writers, not for money. So I'm quite happy with them. They're very versatile. There is a non-fiction version as well if you do non-fiction content. So yeah, it's the ultimate content writer. All right, let me see if there's anything else I can show you before we're done. So I'm going to go away and keep working on my wave system. We've also got this to keep working on. Really, it's all about getting a good model now and adding better animations. But this is really nice. This is really nice now. It's doing the thing. You know, it's just doing an idle, whatever that idle is. It's just like in a video game when, you know, if nothing's happening, it just does a thing. So if you had like a playlist of that, that's going to be super cool. So that's one thing we're working on. Obviously this was done in this was done in 2 credits. We did this with 2 credits on Lovable. So we have our, finally, we have an oscilloscope wave propagation visualizer. And what I did was I took this idea and made it 3D. Oh yeah, made it 3D. Make it 3D. So then what we're going to do now is add all the rest. So hopefully we'll have some more to show you tomorrow. I have been having a few issues with power the last couple of days, guys, so that's caused a bit of disruption. We have managed to keep the show going. Obviously, if I do get a problem tomorrow, I will let you know in the pings. Otherwise, you can expect the show to start at 8 p.m. just to make sure we don't have the same issue we had today. All right. So that's everything I got for you tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be continuing in the Discord. I'm going to be doing a live chat where we're working on this and the avatar thing and just seeing what else we can do, just having a little bit of a hangout. Maybe you'll give me the next idea I want to work on. Maybe you'll come in with something and we'll do a collaboration. Yeah, I'm into it. So thank you very much, guys. See you next time.
Alex, the vessel UMNF deal.
Yummies mug so it's got smash again. What's it? Say, Mom, I buy whenever it goes miss. Just give it one again, like when you say you can keep it. You're not far, can't ever fuck the okay.
Two things,